let me tell you about the picture that you're looking at on this video. It's a car tag that was on the Texas Department of Safety driver's license site right after the explosion of the space shuttle Columbia. And by the way, Columbia represents District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Now, that particular license plate, when the shuttle exploded over Texas, national news, mainline media, magazines from around the world were going, wow, man, check this out. This shuttle is flying over this cowboy on his horse over the plains of Texas, facing a crescent moon. And everybody's going, wow, man, what a coincidence. Let me tell you something. There are no coincidences with God. Let me tell you another fact. All three space disasters where lives were lost in America. 1967, Apollo 1. 1986, Challenger, and 2003, Columbia. All 17 astronauts were killed in the same 6-day period over a 37-year period after hundreds of flights. The same 6-day period. And it was all during this year 124-year-old Fort Worth Stock Show, the oldest rodeo in America, in Fort Worth, Texas. Why is that? Because it's a sign just like the tag. When God destroyed Egypt for doing Israel wrong and chased them across the Red Sea, and then the Lord drowned the Egyptians, when the people of Israel got on the other side and Miriam the prophetess and the lady started singing, the horse and the rider are thrown into the sea. In the Bible, the horse and the rider represents nations and its leaders, its people. So that's the tie on that tag God allowed it at that time. Now, when that was happening in 2003, that destruction that came to that shuttle, named Columbia, representing District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., the leadership, the Washington leadership had been stabbing Israel in the back, dividing her land all the way back to Jimmy Carter. And the Bible says whoever does that will be cut to pieces in the book of Zechariah. Now, I could go into the issues about Obama and what that represents, but I'm going to stay, by God's grace, focused on this one point I want you to see. The number of zeros you would have to put with 10 for that to happen during that 6-day period over 37 years after hundreds of flights, for all of them to die in the same 6-day period, is astronomical, the number of zeros. It cannot happen. It doesn't work that way. It proves that it's not coincidence. It is the hand of God, because God in his judgment is showing mercy, revealing signs for those who are willing, have a willing heart, willing to pay attention, to go, wait a minute. The Lord is upset with the leadership of the United States of America for their wickedness, just like God warned Nineveh when Jonah decided to take a boat trip. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Hosea, Zechariah, all the prophets, God always sends warning before judgment. The reason I'm making this video today is that for several years, back in Obama's time in office, Islam ISIS said we are coming to cowboy country. Everybody knows in politics, if the Republicans lose Texas, the nation is dead. The stronghold for conservative principles and what's right, it's the state of Texas. So not only are the wicked Democrats trying to take Texas down, but Islam wants to take Texas down too, which actually the money the Democrats are using comes from the Middle East. That's why they're doing the wicked deeds they're doing. They have been bought off. But we are coming up on the stock show again. It runs the 17th of January through the 8th of February. The biggest horse and rider show in the country for over 100 years. The cowboy. If you go overseas to other nations and somebody think about them, all them cowboys. The famous cowboys. I'm telling you, if you don't have righteousness, if you're not serving Jesus, Yeshua, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if you don't fear God, your cowboy couldn't whoop his way out of a paper bag when God is ready to judge that island, judge that nation for their wickedness. Where I sat in my office here in Fort Worth, and by the way, go back, do some research on Columbia explosion. If this means anything to you at all. And the incredible signs, the tag was just the first sign of a dozen signs that everybody went, wow, how did this happen? To find out for yourself, God's hand is in this. So anyway, I'm sitting here and I'm looking out my windows. They run all the way across the side of the building here. And straight in front of me, right down the road a couple miles, they're going to do their first Texas stock show in the new Dickies Arena. State of the art. I had a dream after President Trump went to North Korea. I was standing beside somebody who's with the Lord, a dear saint. And I looked out these windows and I saw these big, huge horses, mules, and bulls going by the window like a parade. And then I saw a North Korean missile and I woke up. This stock show is going to have the bulls, the mules, the horses, and they're going to have a parade. And right now, in the middle of this, we are putting our president on trial. President Trump. He's been pro-Israel. He's tried to do the right thing, and they're trying to hang him. The wicked Democrats who hate Israel, hate babies, hate God, just heathen. Now, I will say this, though. I have said all along, because I've lived long enough in the Lord, nearly 40 years in the ministry, been having these dreams and visions ever since I went in ministry, but saved in 72. If President Trump and all this good doing he's been doing, that peace treaty that's been postponed and postponed, the deal of the century, if behind the scenes President Trump's plan is to divide that land of Israel, I don't care who his Jewish son-in-law is, if he is dividing that land as the Bible says in the last days, this is coming, if you divide that land, I'll cut any nation or people or person to pieces. I'll cut you to pieces if you touch that land. Then all the good deeds President Trump's done, and all the, however wicked the Democrats are, God will let the wicked Democrats get him. And if not the wicked Democrats, the North Koreans, the Chinese, or the Russians, because Obama was God's last warning to America. You divide my land, I'm going to divide your land with an abomination. And that's all he did. He gave our money and our secrets away to every Arab country, from Iran to Saudi Arabia, cozied up with the Russians. The very thing that President Trump is being accused of, that's what Obama was doing the whole time in office. And we had a time period of grace to get Trump in there to realize, hey man, we need to straighten up, man. We're going to lose our land if we keep playing with Israel. But if President Trump is backstabbing the Jews, I don't care how many good things he's done. I don't care if every prophet your mom and daddy knows likes him. Something bad is coming to the United States of America. And we are coming up on that 6-day period that God has judged the horse and the rider in America, the Fort Worth Stock Show. Now, well, how do you tie the shuttles and the space program to the stock show? Because God says in the scriptures, the Old Testament, talking about nations that he's going to destroy for wickedness, he said, I don't care how powerful you are. I don't care if you put your nest in the heavens. I don't care if you exalt yourself above the stars. I will bring you down to from your lofty perch. I will destroy you and bring you down to the ground. So the horse and the rider, and not only does it say horse and rider, it literally says the horse and the chariot. Chariot, astronauts, riders. The Bible says in Ezekiel, the end is come, the end is come, the end is come. But nobody believed the end had come. Nobody believed that the end would come, that everything would proceed on as usual. But that's not the way life is. The Germans found that out. The Polish found that out. All through history, nations find out war, death, destruction. You cannot escape it, especially when you're wicked and you're not for God. We could be looking at destruction during this time period between the 17th of January and the 8th of February. But the 6-day period in that time period is the 27th of January to the 1st of February. Jesus is Lord.